everyone. Welcome to another Something Bad Thursday, and today I thought it'd be interesting to explore something that I think is sort of probably universally considered a bad habit, and I think is something that can be, I think, really damaging and kind of just has been around for quite some time. Um, and for some reason, at least within the United States, there seems to be a lot of this activity going on, and I feel like it's just very counterproductive and not really healthy to create sort of a vibrant and uh, happy community, and that has to deal with littering and waste. Um, I can't tell you how many times I have seen waste and all of this junk on the streets um, within the United States, within uh, even like swamp areas, at least around where I live, they have these areas to where you can bike around and you will just see the trash and just things that are piled up. And the weird thing is you see this on the freeway too. The people will just have things thrown out and left somewhere along the freeway or next to the freeway. And it's just very concerning to me, the fact that we waste and litter so heavily and that it's so widespread. Um, and and the environment obviously suffers from this. I mean, they have all I see all these things all the time online where they'll show like uh, a bird that's like cut up, and then pretty much inside the bird is all of this junk that is basically from littering, and it's very sad. I mean, it's kind of just one of those things where I feel like it doesn't benefit really anybody. I mean, why would you want to live in such a dirty and um, almost even congested environment? I mean, sometimes when you see the amount of littering that goes on, you just wonder like, what are people thinking? Like I remember last weekend when I was uh, walking along with my boyfriend, and I remember we stopped by around where he lives, and there were literally two Christmas trees that were just thrown away and tossed on the side. And like, obviously, you dispose of Christmas trees here. Like, there's a method in it actually how you do it, and it's really uh, something where you just have somebody pick it up really for you. You don't just throw it out away everywhere. Um, just along where the neighborhood is. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, it was completely off to the side. Like, they just wanted to throw it somewhere and then just leave it there. They clearly didn't want to dispose of it properly, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, just the amount of waste is just it just blows my mind. And then uh, I remember uh, seeing also too that when people are like eating out for uh, meals, like a lot of people in the United States do, we love eating out. Um, you'll see people that don't like barely touch their food, like barely. Like they'll probably eat like a smidgen of the food, like not even half of the meal. And then you never see them take it home. You never see them box it up. Um, and to me, that's just such a complete waste of food. Like, why would you toss that away? I mean, especially when there's people that are living in other third world countries that are starving and can't have anything to eat. I mean, out of all the things, like it's just this ungratefulness, this complete overconsumption, and just this whole kind of mentality. I think we have I think breeds the the waste and breeds the littering. Um, and I think it's really unfortunate, but it's just something that we sort of developed, and I really don't understand why we have to, you know, have it to the extent at least that we do, because it's very bizarre, because sometimes you'll see things that you wonder, why is that even there? Like, it does not make any sense that the thing is just there. I mean, obviously we have trash cans everywhere. It's not like you can, not throw something away in the trash can. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then you'll see, even sometimes I remember when I would ride my bike around sort of the swamp areas that we have around where I live, um, you'll see people literally going and picking up other people's trash. Like, literally, there'll be these good Samaritans out there who will go out and pick up everybody else's trash that they leave behind in around that swamp area, where again there is a lot of animals that sort of live around there and inhabit the area, and I could see why they would want to get rid of it as soon as possible. But so I'm not saying that all Americans, or Americans in particular, are guilty of this, but from my experience, at least living within the United States, I think that there is a severe littering problem, because I see it constantly everywhere. And I don't understand why people can't just simply throw something away, um, or at least attempt to uh, bring it somewhere to where it can be just disposed of. And I don't understand why, we have uh, this need to toss things away, and not do it in a proper way, or at least even save things. I mean, sometimes things are worth saving. It's not worth really tossing it away just to replace it with something else. I mean, sometimes I think we have this sort of constant incentive to wanting to get more and replacing things constantly, or maybe even hoarding things to a certain extent. Um, and I think that's just it just, I think, leads to waste and in this kind of behavior. And it's very unfortunate. I mean, I think it would be better if, people focused more so on at least trying to think about this thing. And I mean, I'm sure it's a problem everywhere and within other countries as well, uh, but to the extent of what I've seen, at least within the United States, it seems to be something that's still a really big problem, with people just not being able to dispose of something properly, and just not really caring. And I think that's a problem when you don't care about anything that's really around you, like your surroundings, like you're just tossing it, and not even thinking about it. I mean, that I just think is something that's uh, not productive. And again, I'm not a super environmentalist in the sense that I think, like, oh, everything should be a certain way. But I believe that there should be an effort to try to minimize the amount of littering and the amount of, waste that we, sort of kind of partake in uh, for the sake of, just tossing it away instead of trying to appreciate it. Um, and I think that's a lot of that's primarily because we live in this kind of very sort of, I think, fairly over consumeristic culture. Um, and I think it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't necessarily know if things be changed. I mean, sometimes I'll attempt to at least pick up things when I see it. Unfortunately, sometimes stuff looks really dirty, and you just don't want to even, you don't even know where it's been, so you kind of don't even want to bother touching it. Um, I mean, it just seems like um, people are not taking this into consideration when I think they really should. And I mean, I think it's just important to just think about it. I mean, just just stop and wonder, you know, what it is, um, you know, that you're doing, and whether or not that's going to be helpful or not. Instead of just putting in the little extra effort to just find a place to put something away, you know, I mean, I think that just would be better, and we would be a lot cleaner, and we would be a lot healthier, I think, too. Um, and we wouldn't be damaging the environment and not killing the poor birdies, because the birdies need to live too, and all the other animals that get killed, unfortunately, by waste. Um, and apparently, the waste is even so big, um, that it's not only affecting the land areas, but it's also affecting the ocean too. They have literally currents of trash that's floating around in the ocean. And obviously, the ocean is very vast, but again, uh, there is a huge amount of it floating around out there that we almost can't even, you know, really grasp or even try to kind of get rid of. I mean, I'm sure there's attempts, at least, to try to make sure that it's kind of maybe minimized to a certain extent, but that is still there as well. So I think that's why um, there there is a concern among some people as to what effects that'll have. But again, I think it would just be I just think it's a really bad habit, and I think we should all try to take care of the surroundings that we live in, and I think a lot of that can be a whole lot better if we just threw stuff away properly. But yeah, I think that's really ultimately all I can say though. If there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year. Expect a delay for Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays video. I should be back on Monday. But until then, everybody, bye-bye.